All right, guys, it's time to get crazy. I want to talk to you guys, tell you a little story that's a little, for me, it was heartbreaking. And this is about pride, and this is what I'm going to tell you, too, of how heartbreaking it is when, even within your own community, your voice can be stolen from you, it can be taken from you. Um, Going back a couple years after the Pulse shooting, I took the time to go out to the protest. I went out to listen. I sat there and I heard everybody saying, "What can we do? What can we do to change this? What can we do?" Um, and everybody had some solutions. Go out there and vote. Go out there and organize protests, everything like that, right? But here I go, crazy me, shy little me, finally had the balls and the courage to get outside of his comfort zone and say, you know what, I got an idea, guys. We got Pride coming up. Um, why don't we just organize something so the entire scope is in an uproar of just howling out for freedom? Ow! Howling out for freedom, just so that gets put on social media, that message gets put across. Who knows? It gets spread like wildfire, right? Making a bolder statement, a crazier statement, that we are sick of being suppressed. We are sick of our voices being suppressed. 2 years ago, I started to say that, and a woman walks up and takes the microphone out of my hand, because it was too, I don't know what. It was too crazy. It was too bold. It was too outside the box thinking. I don't know what, but that is an awful feeling to have. And we go 2 years later, and we look at this administration, and we look at a crazy clown as our president. Um, am I crazy? Yes, I'm crazy. We need a good kind of crazy in this country. We need a bolder statement. That's just one small idea. Um, I hate the fact um, that we are not taking the initiative, and I'm trying to take the initiative. But I'm telling you guys, that hurts in the gay community to have the microphone taken out of your hands because, maybe it was a time to reflect. Yes, maybe I was a little ahead of schedule with having a more aggressive approach. Um, so maybe the timing was wrong. But a few years later, it's time to be a little more bold. It's time to start taking those steps to start challenging ourselves. I see this administration as a challenge for us and to accept that challenge. We do not get pulled into the stank, the stench, the disgustingness, the grossness of this administration. And first of all, if you're a Republican, don't get offended because this doesn't even represent the Republican Party. If you haven't figured that out yet, that this entire administration has been um, a corporate-led foundation. It is not Republican. It doesn't hold to the Republican values. If you had the strength and respect for your own party, you would sit back and you say, you know what, maybe we got to start talking about this because every EPA, every pick that they put up there in the corporations, the leader of the education, the leader of the court system, the leader of the pick for the EPA, when you cannot sit there and say fake news when we watched the videos. Did you guys see the videos of how each person was questioned as to their requirements, their backgrounds, their requirements to be in those positions? They couldn't answer. They wouldn't answer. They said, "No, I'm sorry, I don't have any previous experiences for the position that I'm being put into." And you think that's all right? You think that's a bold statement? You think that's actually something that is valuable for this country? Put it together, guys. This is not. And what's the greatest Ponzi scheme in the world is to make you fight for something that isn't even true to your own heart and trick you. Um, so that's to every person who supports Trump. You know, back away, recollect yourself, come back home. Because I'm not anti-Republican, I'm not anti-democracy, I'm not anti-military, I'm not anti-family. I'm actually pro all that, and so are you. Um, and you know it. You take the words of the man that you follow, and you see if it matches your heart. You see if it matches your intentions. Um, so that's a message to I'm the crazy guy, right? I'm the you know, sometimes my energy can be a little intense. I will give you that. I will say that. But we need something a little more intense, a little more crazy in this country. Am I crazy? Yes, I'm a good kind of crazy, guys. Do I think that getting ourselves in the stench and trying to prove, oh, they're a bad guy, they're a bad guy. Here's the proof. Here's the proof. That's sensationalism, guys. Instead of focusing on that, refocus. Now we have a litmus test what not to do ever again in society. To do better. And what's the opposite? You know, we have the division. This was obviously I guess I should stop the video here soon. But do I have passion? Yes. Do I see people turning a blind eye on social media saying we hate hearing about politics, so they turn a blind eye, and then that's the problem too. When you don't get involved, when you turn a blind eye to what's happening in this country. Media, you don't always listen to the media, of course, but don't listen to either side of the media from now on. Just say what happens when it comes back to my heart, and I realize that something isn't right here. Something is a little fishy, something is a little strange, and it's not doing anybody any good when this country has been isolated from the world. When we pose, here's the thing too, guys. You know, when we have an obvious attempt for everybody to put their negativity on this leader, it's my belief that we have always been fooled to blame an outside source, to blame somebody outside, a group outside of this country, a group within this country, you know, and you know, it's time to start taking accountability. That's what I'm doing. I'm just speaking my voice. But it's frustrating, but that frustration can be exercised into something better. I'm an artist, a musician. You know, 4 years ago, I knew this. 4 years ago, I was told that everything was going to be reversed. Guess what happened, guys? Guess what's happening right now? Everything is being attempted to be reversed, just for a stick it to the people. But what is the opposition to that? Everything's been divided, so everything has to come back together. It's the natural laws of the pendulum. So what's going to help that happen is going to be the inspiration. It's going to be that motivation. It's going to be that creativity, that music, that innovation, the entrepreneurship, the professionalism, all of that. The intellectual thinking. So I'm going to continue doing this, whether, you know, I know nobody comments, fine. I know I can be a little intense sometimes, that's cool. You don't have to comment, as long, you know, I feel like nobody's listening because nobody, you know, but that's a BS. We're all kind of listening to each other. I just hope that you guys put yourselves out there more, put your faces out there. Use social media as a tool to speak your mind, speak your voice, and speak your story. And that's where we start finding common ground. Okay? All right, guys. All right, much love. Peace.